try something a little bit different. And I'm going to tell a story time. I'm going to do one of them story time videos. Even though I have nothing in IRL, I guess you could say, to talk about. But I do have, I tend to have very strange or weird or mostly scary dreams. And it's just something that I don't know, I very rarely do I ever really have nightmares, because I'm just so used to it at this point that nothing really scares me in my dreams anymore. And so today, I would like to talk about a few of those dreams, and I want to start off this video by also saying how pissed I am because I already filmed this, but for some reason, Movie Maker will not accept the file I have on a better camera. So I'm stuck using an iPhone until, I don't know, I update my computer, which is a lot harder than it sounds because I have to go buy Windows 10. The computer troubles I've had in the past. So yeah, until then, you know what? You're stuck with video quality because that's all I can afford right now. So yeah, let's just jump right into things, shall we? So I would like to start by talking about a dream I had when I was younger, probably about like late elementary school, early middle school. I don't really remember when, but when I was younger, I was fascinated with the weather. I loved it so much. I wanted to be a meteorologist until one day I woke up and I decided I didn't. And so yeah, I love learning about like hurricanes, earthquakes, even though that's not technically the weather. But something that really freaked me out was tornadoes. And living in Texas, yes, we are in Tornado Alley, but we don't, where I live at least, we don't get tornadoes. Tornadoes are not a frequent occurrence, if an occurrence at all. And it took me like a year to figure that out. And so in this dream, I was in this apartment complex, and it was separated between a girl's side and a boy's side. And the way that was separated was the girl's side had pink like little play tiles or whatever. I'm not really sure what those are called or what they even look like. If Movie Maker was actually useful, then it would include photo overlay, but it doesn't, so I can't show you a picture, unfortunately. So yeah, and so there was like pink and blue, so yeah, I mean, I was like, I don't know, what, 10 at the time, maybe? So, and there was like this weird epic game of like dodgeball going on, and I just had like a brain fart. And so, like, it was girls versus boys, and there were these, like, epic tornadoes going on as we were playing. And, like, the girls' side kept on getting all these tornadoes, and I'm just like, I don't want to be around these tornadoes. And so I escaped, so to say, to the boys' side. And the boys, like, saw me, and they tackled me, and they're like, you can't be here. And I'm like, but them tornadoes are scary, guys. And so when I did that, the tornado started following me to the boys' side. I was just like, oh shoot. And so the guys, they ran away. They're like, I ain't having any of this. And so they left, leaving me behind, and then like the screen went black. And I woke up in this closet. And when I say woke up, I mean in the dream, not in real life. I woke up in this like walk-in closet with a monitor right in front of me, and in the monitor on the screen there was a woman who ran this like secret organization, she said, and she was telling me about how like there are things after me and they need to protect me from these things. And I'm just like, what's going on? They're like, no time for conversation, get in the car. And so I left this closet, and I went outside again, because that's apparently closets are now outside, and and so I did, and there was these giant tornadoes just swirling around. There was multiple of them too, just swirling around the place. And so I got in this car with this guy. I didn't see his face. This was also like years ago, so the memories kind of faded, like dreams do after a while. And as we were like driving away, he was like zigzagging through all these like, I don't know, buildings or whatever. And I was looking out behind me, and there were these tornadoes, and I was thinking before I woke up, was these tornadoes, they're after me. And I woke up and was just like, well, that happened. The second scariest, I say scariest, well, you know what, this one's pretty scary, dream I had was actually a couple weeks ago, where I was, yeah, this was a few weeks ago. This was before school got out for summer, because I remember telling my cross-country friends about this dream, because it was so weird. So, in this dream, there was this cabin. Sorry about that. My phone ran out of storage, so I had to go fix that. And also, it got a whole lot brighter out, so hopefully you see me a bit better. And so, like I was saying, there was this cabin in the woods, and this cabin was kind of strange, because it's not like your typical cabin in the woods, so to say. I'm not talking about the horror movie trope. I mean, there was like, it was built in a clearing that was big enough just for that building. It wasn't even that big. It was a relatively small cabin, probably just like a one-room place. I don't really remember. I don't remember it that well. And so there was a group of people, not necessarily people I knew. There was like a few guys, few girls. I didn't really recognize them. None of them really stood out. But apparently in my dream, we were friends, we're buds. And so in the dream, Freddy Krueger was also there. For those of you who don't know who Freddy Krueger is, he's the guy from the Nightmare on Elm Street. Maybe I'll include a photo of him real quick. And now. He's the guy from the Nightmare on Elm Street with like the claw hand, and in the dream, if he kills you, you die in real life. So yeah, really fun to see in your dreams, let me tell you. And so in the dream, we decided to play a game of hide and go seek, and Freddy was it. And so we were saying Freddy because the video game geek person in me is thinking about Five Nights at Freddy's, and I love Sister Location. That's probably my favorite game in the series. And so off topic, back topic now. Freddy was it. He would be the one finding us. And so I don't know how we came to this unanimous decision, but Freddy, if he found you, he would kill you, and the last person he found would become him. I don't know, it didn't make sense either. So we all ran and hid, and for some reason I stuck by him, and he's like, we just started talking, chatting it up, became best buds by the end of it, and he's like, you know what, I like you, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad you don't hate me, because I would rather you not kill me. So yeah, that was great, really great to dream about. And so we get on with the game, and as we're playing, he's like bumping off people, like, they just start going missing. I don't see him kill anyone, thank goodness, but like they just go missing. They go up to the farm upstate or whatever. And so while he's killing people sounds so brutal, so violent. I swear, I'm not a violent person by any means. I'm not, I swear. As this was happening, there were like a suburban area was like coming up behind us, because I remember like seeing a fence and like other houses or whatever. Even though at the beginning of it, we were like in this cabin like in the woods. There was like brush and stone and rivers and trees. Oh my! Or that could just be my hometown, because there's a lot of trees where I live. And so, back on topic. It gets to the second to last person, and I'm like, okay, yeah, good job, buddy. And he turns to me and he starts trying to kill me, and I'm like, what's happening? I thought we were buds. And he's like, well, yeah, I'm I can't speak English today. He's like, yeah, that's why I'm not killing you last, so you won't become me. And so he tries to like lunges at me, and like the last thing I remember seeing was his face, and then I woke up. And I remember after that, I was just lying in bed thinking like, oh, okay, so should I be grateful that Freddy Krueger didn't want me to become him? Or should I be terrified that, one, I saw Freddy Krueger in my dreams and that he tried to kill me, and then maybe he did kill me, but yet I woke up just in the nick of time? Or two, like, I don't know, just weird, a weird dream. I was shook after that, because it was just like, oh, I'm gonna die, and as of right now, I'm not dead, so yeah, that's all good. I guess I'm good. Alright, so this is the third and final dream I'm gonna talk about, and this one, in my opinion, is the scariest. Now, probably to a majority of you, most likely will not think so, but just me and who I am, I found this dream to be extremely terrifying, and it literally affected me in everyday life. And I am worried to tell the story because I know Cupid's gonna watch this video and she's gonna have some questions afterwards. Oh man, but it's not anything horrible, so Cupid, Madison, if you're watching this, don't flip because it's not a big deal anymore. And so I had this dream about 2-ish years ago. It happened like sometime at the start of my high school year or whatever. I don't know, like a freshman, maybe sophomore. I had this dream. It's more embarrassing than it really is scary. It's scary to me, probably embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to say out loud. Because I kind of told Madison Cupid about this, but I left out one important detail. I love you, Madison, please don't hate me. In this dream, I remember, you know what, maybe it was myself. You know what, doesn't really matter. Because I remember whenever it was, I was 16 at the time. No, I wasn't 16 at the time, I was younger than that. But I was sort of 16 in my dream, because I remember I had this crown that said Sweet 16 on it. And in my dream, it was my wedding day. This is when it starts getting to the, if I haven't even crossed that territory yet, this is when it starts to get to the strange side of my dreams. It was my wedding day, and I was 16 at the time, and I remember getting married to the guy Cupid doesn't know who this is, and I hate that, because I was getting married to the guy I really liked at the time, and so now she already knows who it is, and great, I love you, Madison, please don't judge me. And so, nothing happened. It was just that, it wasn't even like the ceremony, it was like afterward, we were like eating food and stuff, and so it was, like me, him, and some, like, I think, like, some of my friends, like, this was forever ago, and I tried to forget this dream, because what I really hated about it, and in this dream, I just feeling, like, everything was so awkward, it was so weird, and it was so uncomfortable, because, like, nothing happened, like, we were just, like, hanging out and eating food, but, like, it was one of those things where, you know, when you're eating, like, where you're just sitting at a table and, like, no one's talking, it's just not, like, and it's not the fact that people are eating why no one's talking, it's the fact that there's, like, this unspoken, like, awkward silence, and that's what was going on in my dream, and, like, it was just so weird, it was just so awkward that, like, I woke up afterwards having this feeling of dread, like, I was so terrified, like, you guys, I cannot even express what, like, I felt afterwards. And so after this, I was, like, so scared to, like, talk to him or, like, talk to anyone, because I was just, like, I think I might have told Madison about this. If not, then she was like, what? And the big, like, thing I took from the stream, which is horrible, is that I have a really bad fear of relationships. Like, call me Batman, call me Lego Batman, I don't do ships, as in relationships. And so that's probably my biggest fear, is dating someone and having it be so completely awkward, that I just was so anti-dating for the longest time until, like, fairly recently. But even now, like, I'll get so freaked out because, like, there was one time I was gonna go on a date with someone, but, like, luckily it fell through, and it was actually really good that it did, because I was getting so many, like, red flags from this guy. And so, off topic, but back to this, where, like, for the longest time, I did not want to date anyone. I did not want, like, to do anything or, like, see him, and I felt so terrible afterwards, because I was, like, the worst person in the world. I was so mean to him. I was so mean to, like, anyone, and that's, like, one thing I still kind of feel bad about, is I was, like, such a terrible person to him after that, because I just did not want to go through, like, any relationship ever, and that's still something that kind of affects me to this day, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to move on from that, you guys. Madison, Cupid, do not worry. Please don't text me after you watch this video, because you're gonna have some questions, I'm sure. So yeah, that was my third scariest, and I want to add a sort of bonus, and I want to talk about the time I had sleep paralysis. Ooh. Alright, so this happened this year, I can tell you that, but I don't exactly remember when. Now, happened, I think it was a Saturday. I remember that because it wasn't a school night, because I am a stickler about going to bed early on school nights, and early for me is like 10:30, but I have friends who go to bed at like 1 a.m. and are perfectly fine the next day. I don't know how they do it. That's like insane to me. I can never do that. I hate going to bed after like midnight, because that's just, it's like a pet peeve of mine. It's so weird. I can't explain why, but anyway, back on topic. And so I knew when it happened, I was so glad I knew what sleep paralysis was, because if I didn't, it probably could have been a lot worse. So, because I've seen like those Shane Dawson videos and like the conspiracy theories and like his stories about like sleep paralysis or whatever. And so it was about 2 in the morning, and I was like half awake, half asleep. I'm not really sure how it works, but I know for a fact with sleep paralysis, I remember like waking up in my dream. Sorry about that, guys. My phone ran out of storage again. So back to what I was saying about sleep paralysis. So this happened this year. It was a weekend, Saturday, and I remember feeling this pressure on my chest, and that's what they say what happened in sleep paralysis, and that's what I think initially woke me up, kind of, was this pressure. And I remember it was dark, it was pitch black, I couldn't see anything. I feel like maybe my covers were over my face a bit, because I could kind of see, but for the most part it was black, it was pitch black. I could not see a dang thing until I could. And so there was this pressure on my chest, and I thought that was so weird. I was just like, what is that? And then I tried to like move, and that's when I realized what was happening. I was like, oh shoot, this is sleep paralysis. Remember, I felt like this pressure still like pushing on my chest. It was it was like heavy breathing, because we would like lift up and then we'd go back down again. And I knew it was sleep paralysis because like I couldn't move, and in my mind I'm like, oh hell no. So I like tried to wake myself up, because I'm like, I ain't seeing nothing tonight. I don't want to see anything, no shadow people or like whatever. And so, but before I did, like I was still like trying to wake myself up, and then I could like suddenly like sort of see my room, and it was dark, and I could see the outline, and I saw this like figure on like my ceiling in like the sort of Spider-Man position, you know what I mean? Like hanging off the wall, sort of like Spider-Man, and it had like this red glowing eyes. It was like, but like I woke myself up as it was happening. Like after that, I was just like, I was shook. I like couldn't breathe. I didn't know what to do, and I went downstairs, and I told my parents. I was so like freaked out, but before I did that, I ended up, and this is when I'm like so thankful for like the people I have in my life, I ended up calling my friend Kirby, who happened to be awake at 2 in the morning, like, who's awake at 2 in the morning? Well, apparently she is. And like she kind of like talked me through it, because I was like I was like freaked out after that. I was kind of like, should I go back to bed? I didn't know what to do. And like I kind of have like, you know, like I don't have like major like heart problems, but it's just something I have to like monitor. And after that I was kind of like worried, because I'm like, oh, should I go fall back to sleep? Like, does this have something to do with my heart? Because like my chest hurt, and I was just like, crap, like I don't want anything to happen. I don't want to die in my sleep or whatever. And so she's gonna like talk me through it, bring me back down to reality, and like, oh, bless her. Like, how, like, thank you so much for being awake at 2 in the morning. And then like after that, I ended up going down to my parents' room, because I was still kind of shook. And they're like, oh, okay. And then poor them, I like woke them up. Like I said, like 2 in the morning. And after that, I ended up going like back to bed. I was like, fine. after that. But I have like strange occurrences in my house. I wouldn't go far to say it's haunted. I thought it was for the freaking longest time, and you want to hear that, maybe I can make a video of that in its own. But it's nothing like major. It's just like little things that I was like, someone call Sam and Dean. Someone get the salt. But yeah, it was nothing too big. But just if you want to see a video about that, like, comment down below, leave a like, and tell me if that's something y'all would be interested in seeing. So there you go. That was 3 of the scariest, in quotation marks, dreams I've had and my experience on sleep paralysis. So leave a comment down below telling me maybe what's your scariest dream you've had, whether it's psychological or actually just straight up bloody scary or like whatever. Leave a like and subscribe. Why don't you? That's something I seem to say now. And I will see you brainiacs in the